Hello, everyone. Destruction here, coming to you from studio headquarters of the bands Sonic Armada and Broken Trinity. Today, we'll be doing part one of a two-part series on local underground music festivals here in the Atlanta area. Recently, I spent the last weekend of April 2025 both working and performing at two different music events. On that particular Saturday, I worked as an EMT, which is what I do at my full-time job, as I am both certified and licensed as an advanced EMT. In this case, I was there in a frontline medical and first aid capacity for the event, and also to provide some additional support to their security staff. The next day, I pulled a doubleheader, performing with both of my bands at a small DIY backyard festival where we played back-to-back sets. So needless to say, it was a pretty busy weekend for this guy. But before we get into it, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow this channel for both our music and future content like this, and please make sure and check out all of our music that's already available on this channel, as we have quite a few songs and videos posted. And you can find us on the usual social media sites and find our songs on most of the digital platforms. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in part one, I'm going to talk about my day working at Blast Beats and Brews Metal and Beer Festival. This event took place on Saturday, April 26th, and was hosted at the Atlanta Utility Works venue, located down in East Point, Georgia, a suburb that borders the city of Atlanta and is almost literally within spitting distance of the Atlanta airport. Although not consecutively, this is the third year this event has taken place, and the third time that I've worked it. The way I came to be a part of this event was a few years ago. The event's founder and organizer, Emily Harris, posted on Facebook in a local metal community forum that she was in need of an EMT for her music festival. I simply responded and became part of the Blast Beats and Brews team. The event features live performances by 7 metal bands, a wide variety of beer stands with microbrewed adult beverages for sampling, food trucks, band and festival merch tables, artist booths, as well as various clothing, jewelry, and trinket vendors. But to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, let's take a look at some of the footage I captured while I was there. So it's Saturday, and I'm out here in East Point, Georgia, just south of Atlanta, actually quite close to the airport, working an EMS and security detail at the Blast Beats and Brews Metal Fest. And so far, great event. Lots of great bands playing tonight, and people just having a good time. And hey, metalheads, take care of each other as it is, so hopefully really won't be much for me to do. But hey, I'm here just in case. So here's the front gate area where you would get your passes and such to get in. And then, I know this guy. He's a local sound guy who's actually worked a couple of shows that both my bands have played. And then here in the front entranceway area, we've got a couple of vendors set up. I believe one of them, right over here. This one is a local soap maker. And then over here is the Blast Beats and Brews merch table. They had t-shirts and all kinds of other cool stuff. And then as you can see, this was some kind of an industrial building, all made out of like steel and concrete and such. So, but they've definitely done a good job turning it into a concert venue. Got a band setting up on stage, sound checking. Got the band merch tables over here. So this was pretty early in the day at this point, and hadn't really kicked off yet. There's our head of security right there at the front security gate. That's Jersey. And here we pan around to, that's the food truck area, food truck and food tent area back there, sort of on the end of the main building. And this is the front entranceway of Atlanta Utility Works. And of course we have another food truck, as you can see over there, and some vendor tents set up So everybody's selling all kinds of different stuff, art-related, jewelry, clothing, you name it. All kinds of cool stuff. So here we are in the backstage area. And as you can see, it's a little bit later in the day. There's Emily, the event's organizer, nodding her head to the music and drinking a beer. And the crowd was a little bit bigger. People were starting to file in. And I forget which band this was, but they sounded really good. And the sound guys did a great job, did a tremendous job with all of the bands that day. Here we are walking through the beer garden area out back. As you can see, there are several beer tents set up, run by different microbrewers. And that's like half the fun of coming to this thing, is getting to try all kinds of unique, tasty adult beverages. Yeah, here we are again on the side of the stage over by the sound desk. And at this point, the place was packed. The event had a great turnout for the day. And like I said before, all the sound engineers made all of the bands just sound amazing. So sound guys did a great job, just a tremendous job. This is going to be a little bit later in the night. I think this might have been the headliner. But as you can see, people are kind of doing like a little circle pit and blowing bubbles. There's our head of security, Jersey, handing out bubble solution to people. So people are having a great time. This place was hopping at this point. And as I said, the band sounded great. So as the EMT for the event, my part in all of it was pretty straightforward. Primarily, I was there to make sure all the patrons, staff, vendors, and bands were safe and respond if someone needed help. So I was really there in a just-in-case sort of capacity. Yes, I realize I just did air quotes. Don't hate me. Thankfully, for my part, it turned out to be a pretty uneventful event from an EMS perspective, and that's perfectly fine. I attribute most, if not all of that, to the fact that the event was very well organized and meticulously managed down to every detail. The bands all sounded great on stage, and the scheduling as a whole ran like a Swiss watch, like a very well-oiled machine. Most of the bands were from out of town, with a couple of local support acts, namely Atlanta Legends, Subdivisions, and Decryptus, both of which have various members that are longtime friends of mine. And even though it was a pretty long day for me, as I was there for about 10 hours, I had a great time. Met some really great people, had a chance to catch up with some old friends, and try some really great food. Didn't sample any of the beer because I was there in a working capacity. But still, not a bad way to spend my Saturday. So a big shout out to Jersey and his security team, and all of the other crew, staff, and personnel that made this event happen. Everyone did a fantastic job, and a big shout out to Emily for putting it all together. This is an event that I always have a great time when I work this event, and I definitely would be proud to put either one of my bands on stage if I ever got the chance to at this particular event. So as far as my final thoughts on the whole event in general, as I said before, the sound guys did a great job making all the bands sound awesome. It was extremely well organized, and no complaints from anybody. Everybody had a great time, a lot of positivity, and I think that's something we really need in our local metal scene here, because there's been a lot of toxicity, a lot of negativity going around, just all kinds of. It seems like there's been some rivalries between promoters and event organizers and such, and man, we don't need stuff like that. So it's nice to see even a small festival like this, because it is a relatively small festival in comparison to some of the bigger ones you see out there, some of the bigger rock fests and metal fests all over the country, all over the world for that matter. So Blast Beats and Brews, I feel kind of hits a positive note This is definitely, I think this has probably been the most successful year they've had thus far, and definitely hope to see more blast beats and brews in the years to come. But as I said, it's good to see a more grassroots festival like this doing well and thriving. And best of luck to Emily Harris in the future in any of her future festival endeavors. All right, well, that about does it for part one of this episode. Make sure and check out part two, where we'll talk about Juggerfest 2025, a DIY backyard music festival here in the metro Atlanta area. I'll have that episode finished and uploaded very soon. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, leave us some feedback and questions in the comments section, check out our music, and hit us up on the socials. Once again, I'm Destruction. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay metal.